Hello everybody, we are going to be focusing today's practice on balance. So with that in mind, just come to the centre of your mat and we're going to find our Tadasana. So looking down at your feet, have a move around. We're going to find where they're hip distance apart. So your heels ideally want to be directly underneath your hip points. So then just rock the body forward slightly. So you're leaning forwards. Make sure your heels stay in contact with the mat and all your toes have contact with the mat. Just lean a little further forwards if you can. So you might feel your core lightly engaging here. And then slowly, very slowly, start to take the weight backwards. This one's perhaps more of a challenge. Might feel your quads having to work here, so leaning backwards, keep your big toes on the mat, and then take that weight back forwards again. And then we're going to shift to the right side of both feet, so don't let the left foot pop up, we're just leaning over, so the weight is coming onto the right of the right foot more heavily than the right of the left foot. Try not to bend at the waist, so we're not collapsing that side waist, we're just shifting the whole body over. Slowly come back to centre before we shift the body onto the left side. So the same thing, don't collapse on that left side weight, send the weight across that left outside edge of the foot, maybe a little further, and then we're going to do circles with the body. So taking in all those 4 movements we've just done, just exploring that range of movement. And you can make these circles one way and then alternate which way you're moving. Just be aware if you're bringing any tension or gripping in the shoulders, let those arms just hang nice and loosely. So exploring that range of movement, exploring which one is more challenging for you. For me it's leaning backwards. You might find that one side is more difficult. And then make the circles a little bit smaller. So if you were drawing a circle on your ceiling with the crown of your head, make those circles incrementally smaller, and they're starting to centre now. Starting to find our centre as the weight shifts backwards, forwards, and then finally we can feel the point without having to look in a mirror. We can feel this. Feel the point where our weight is even on the fronts, on the backs, on the sides, and really lifting that crown of the head. So the heels, big toes, the little toes, we've got that nice tripod stance. We can feel rooted down and stable here. So this is a lovely way to start any balancing moves. So just closing the eyes, turn your palms to face forwards if they aren't already. Lower the chin a little. Start to inhale and exhale through the nose. So just finding that natural rise and fall of the chest. Now send the breath a little lower down using your diaphragm. So we're engaging in our core, we're finding a little bit of movement in the belly. So we fill the breath, fill ourselves with air. And then keeping the eyes closed, we're just going to open out the arms up and overhead on the inhale and sweep them down on the exhale. So we're just doing this intuitively, not worrying about what we look like, really just finding a little bit of movement in the shoulders. Quite a gentle movement to start with. Seeing if we can keep that core engaged so that the balance of our body is not taken off with our eyes closed. Always more challenging with the eyes closed. The next time you lower the hands, allow them to rest back into Tadasana. Gently open the eyes. The next time we inhale, we're going to take the arms up and overhead with the eyes open. Hold them here and come onto your toes. Now as you come onto your toes, try not to lean the body forwards. Try to see if you can come straight up, so that if you had a puppet string on the top of your head, you were lifting it up rather than drawing it forwards. So that chest is not sticking out. Really finding strength here, working those toes. Maybe we can come a millimetre higher. Don't worry if you need to put the heels down and come up again, that's fine. Keep your concentration. Use your exhale to slowly soften down, letting the arms down. So we're going to do that a couple of times with the breath now. So inhale, arms up, heels up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, arms up, heels up. Exhale, come down. If you want to make this slightly more difficult, inhale, arms up, take the eye gaze up. Exhale, come down, let the eye gaze come down again. Inhale, heels up, arms up, eye gaze up. Exhale, come down. Let's do that once more. Inhale, arms up, heels up, eye gaze up, hold. Look up a tiny bit higher, it's much more challenging. And exhale, arms down, eye gaze down, heels down. Let's take ourselves to the top of the mat now. Keep that nice foundation and that length you've created. Soften the knees, arms up, inhale. Exhale, soften the knees, come into your forward fold. So really bend those knees. Let the head come down. Lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs as you come to a flat back extension. Find lots of space here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale once more to a flat back extension. And as you exhale, a little bit deeper in your forward fold. So perhaps the legs are a little bit longer now. You can still have that generous bend. We're just finding where we can start to work into the hamstrings. Allowing the back to be soft. There should be no pinching in the back here. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And let's pick the right foot up, send it all the way back, lowering the right knee and tuck the right toes. Hug your hips together, inhale, arms up. Soften the shoulders. Feel long in the spine, so don't stick your bottom out. Feel like you're tucking that pelvis ever so slightly under. Pelvis is neutral. As we exhale, we're going to push the hands down and turn to your left. It's a nice twist through the body here. We'll do that on the other side. So as you inhale, draw the arms up. Coming back to centre, as you exhale, turn to the right. So it's an open twist this time, pushing those hands down. So your palms go down on the exhale. Inhale, arms up. We'll do that once more on each side. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, turn to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down, frame that left foot. Untuck the right toes, come long in the right leg. Peel back that front foot so we end up in downward facing dog and start to pedal out the feet. So you're slowly working here, finding extension from fingertip to tailbone, and then allowing that back to soften, allowing the legs to come long, and just find some stillness. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Next inhale, lift that right foot and just tuck the right toes behind the left heel. So I quite like to tuck my big toe between the heel, so it's the big toe, the next toe, just to give a little hook there, and then sit back into that left leg. So you're feeling a strength, a lengthening, nice stretch all the way through the left leg. Place that right foot back down and start to walk the feet towards the hands. So you can take as many steps as you like as we end up back in your forward fold. So allow that body just to soften down. Take your time here. Make sure the crown of the head follows. Inhale, flat back. Reach the arms behind you, soften the knees. Inhale, let's take the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhaling through that centre line. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down as we exhale all the way into forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Pick the left leg up. Send that left leg down and tuck the toes as you lower the left knee. Hug those hips together and slowly let's build that long spine. So we're not dropping the hips into their full expression here. Really find length in the spine is the most important aspect here. Roll your shoulder blades back so your inner armpits are coming towards each other. As we exhale, we're pushing the hands and turn towards the right first this time. So that's your internal twist. Inhale, palms up. Keep the legs where they are as you exhale, coming to your open twist. Inhale, arms up. So don't worry if you've gone the other way, as long as you're doing two on each side, doesn't matter. Use your inhale to come back to centre and pause here. Exhale to plant the hands each side of that right foot now. Untuck the toes of the left foot, peel back the right leg into downward facing dog. See if you can go a little bit deeper this time, sending the hips a little bit higher and the chest a little closer to the thighs. Now pick the left leg up and we're going to tuck the left toes behind the right heel, sinking down into that right hip, working through from the heel to the psoas. And then untuck the toes and start to walk the feet towards the hands. Inhale into a flat back, reaching the arms behind you with the palms facing down. Just as micro bend to the knees. Inhale all the way back up to standing. Finding your centre back into Tadasana. So as we come to the centre of your mat again, find your foundation. So exactly what we started with. Strong foundation. Sink the weight into that left leg without the hips dropping. So push into the left heel. Let's draw that right knee up, bringing the hands to the sternum. Hold here and breathe. Now start to find a rotation in that right hip. So as we rotate that big ball and socket joint, we're starting to come into tree pose, Vrksasana. Now your foot, find where it naturally goes to. Don't worry about how high it goes. Maybe starting on the calf. If it wants to come to the knee, you need to choose above or below. Let's not press onto the knee itself. So wherever we are, lift in the crown of the head, root down into that left heel and find an opening in that right knee. You might even want to put your hand onto the inner right knee just to find an openness in the hips. So we're going to place our hands on our hips and make sure we haven't dumped our weight on one side. Are they nice and stable and even? With each breath, soften the shoulders. Now find your eye gaze on something that's not moving. So soften everything here. This is a really strong, challenging balance. All about trying to settle the mind. It's very difficult to do if your mind is jumping around, so see if you can really focus. Keep nice and steady, so the big toes of your left foot are not gripping for dear life, but they're definitely engaged here. And don't worry if you need to come out or in again. Now we're going to reverse this by drawing that right knee up first. Start to bring it back to centre, activating the right foot. So using your core here, you can soften that left leg if you want to. We're going to start to lengthen out the right foot. So push that right heel away. Keep breathing. 2 more breaths. And bend the right knee once more and gently start to push it back as it engages once more with the mat. So we're just going to come to a forward fold to settle. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, arms reaching behind you. Soften the knees, inhale all the way up and overhead. Palms together. Find yourself back into Tadasana. So never rushing to go onto the other side of a balance. We're going to really root down in that right leg now. Making sure we've got that strength, stability. So that in your own time, start to lift the left knee. Just pause here, making sure we've not dropped all that weight into the right leg. We're still feeling active in the left hip. Opening out that left hip. Again, explore what works for you. So if we're above the knee, have we got a good connection of the foot with the thigh? Are those hips square? So we're not tilting them around. Pressing the hands together lightly without taking that tension into the shoulders. Breathing in and out through the nose. Settling your eye gaze. Making sure that right big toe this time is really engaged. It's doing a lot of work. Help us centre and lift, making lots of micro adjustments there. So just settle into your tree pose here. Draw that mind back if it starts to wander. So stick with the rhythm of your own breath. When you're ready, we're going to unhook that left leg, drawing it back to centre, engaging in your core, lifting in the crown of the head as we draw that left leg out. So you're pushing the left heel away from you, keeping the left hip plugged in. See if we can have 3 breaths here. 1, 2, keep it up if you can. Slowly bending that left foot and placing it back on the mat. We're going to take the legs out wide, toes facing out, heels rooted down, hips nice and stable, so pelvis is neutral. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Drawing them down the centre, palms together as we bend into a deep squat. Release the arms, inhale up. Palms together, use your exhale to come down. So find a slow rhythm here. Doesn't matter if you're not with my breath. Inhaling arms up, making sure we're keeping the back nice and long. So as you start to sink maybe a millimetre lower each time you come down. So this is a really fluid way to move through squatting. Goddess pose. Working with your own breath. Just exploring that range of movement in the knees, the ankles, the hips, the shoulders. Now the next time you come down, we're going to hold here. Thumbs to sternum. Keep the breath nice and stable. And then we're going to start to pulse. So we're going to do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and then release the arms, release the legs. Reach up. Slowly come back to centre. We're going to do our next balance pose by heel toeing the feet to centre once more. Soften in your right knee. So your knees are going to soften. We're going to sink down slowly into that right leg. So although it's a standing leg, you're really going to find that softness. Take the arms out to the side. So working through Garudasana, eagle pose. That left leg is so soft. It lifts and starts to cross over the right, sink down. And as you do so, start to cross the right arm over the left. So either the backs of the arms together. If you can wrap the wrists as well, that's absolutely great. Sink the hips. Bend the knees. Draw the elbows up. So those shoulder blades are opening. You're finding a nice opening in the back here. Squeeze your thighs together. Keep your breath stable. Find your eye gaze on something steady. When you are ready to come out, you're going to release the hands slowly. Unhook the leg. Take it up high. Push it out once more. And then slowly as you bring it down, find yourself back into Dasana and close the eyes. A really strong balance there. Lots of challenges. Let everything settle as you come back to centre. Open the eyes. Inhale, arms up and overhead as we come onto our tiptoes. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, arms up, eye gaze up, heels up. Exhale down. So taking the eye gaze up when you do this means that you're really off, really wobbly. That's fine, just keep the eye gaze at centre. We're just adding extra elements. Doing this in between a challenging balance is more tricky, so don't worry or give yourself a hard time over this. And then find everything settling. Come back to mountain. This time we're rooting down in that left leg with the left knee softens. Inhale as the arms open wide and that right knee lifts. Sinking down that left leg. Start to cross the legs so the right leg comes over the left. And as we cross the arms, it'll be the left arm over the right. So find as much contact as you can, sinking down in the hips, in the knees, and lift the elbows. Squeeze everything together. Find your breath. When you're ready to release, release the fingers and the arms first. Slowly unhooking the legs, drawing that right knee up, pushing the right leg away, slowly allowing everything to come back to centre. Let the shoulders relax. Close down the eyes gently and let everything steady here. So really allow all that lovely energy you've created to pour from the fingertips. Place the left hand and the right hand maybe over your heart centre, just so you can feel the heat and the beat of your heart, how hard you've been working today. And gently open the eyes, let the hands come back to centre. And thank yourself for a really nice practice today. I hope you enjoyed that challenge of your balance.